Hi, today is August 16th, 2024, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 1269 for the year, Possibly Preening. The next day, in almost precisely the same spot, another more youthful pigeon looked at me for a little while and maybe smiled. Do pigeons smile? I dare say this one was not reflecting on existence. This pigeon was standing much more erect, as if showing off. Preening. I think the pigeon was preening. Or maybe after observing me doling out peanuts to the squirrels, the pigeon was like, "What have you got for me?" At some point it must have been clear that I had nothing for the pigeon, but the pigeon remained, possibly due to exhaustion, possibly preening, possibly for some other reason, or possibly for no reason. It's possible pigeons do many things for no reason whatsoever. I don't know. As far as I know, I have never been a pigeon. As far as I know. Poem number 1270. When I was a pigeon. When I was a pigeon, I flew up, down, and around. I would perch on branches and fences and shit upon the ground. When I was a pigeon, I found female pigeons hot. I'd get behind them and go inside them and give them all I got. When I was a pigeon, I lived life with relative ease. Except when I had to look for food, I did just as I pleased. But now I am a human with responsibilities, and sometimes I am burdened with enormous difficulties. When I was a pigeon, all was ignorance and bliss, but no life I have ever lived has been as good as this. Poem number 1271, Reincarnation, Revisited. On a certain level, reincarnation makes sense. The tiny superstrings or bits of consciousness, or whatever it is that make up the material world, break down, reconfigure, reassemble, and reemerge as beings of greater or lesser complexity. But the idea that the I that I am now was once some other person with my same consciousness, such that I can somehow now access the memories of the person I was then, contains far too many leaps of reasons for me to embrace. Back then, the buck stopped there, and now it stops here. Poem number 1272, Incarnation. It seems to me that everything there is made up of the same stuff. Each of us is an incarnation. We once were parts of other incarnations, and later we will be parts of other incarnations. But once I am gone, the consciousness that is constituted within me in this particular configuration will be gone as well. And I am comfortable with that idea, or at least I am right now. And the last poem of the day, poem number 1273, When I Was a Carnation. When I was a carnation and bees buzzed around me and pollinated me, and I was able with their assistance to reproduce asexually, did I dream of one day being able to have sex? Did I observe humans or pigeons or squirrels fucking on the grass right next to me and think to myself, damn, I wouldn't mind getting in on some of that action? And here's another question. When I was a carnation, was I the very carnation that somebody passed by that one time and then became inspired to invent carnation instant breakfast drink mix? Almost certainly not. Carnation instant breakfast drink was introduced to the world in 1964, whereas I was introduced to the world in 1960. I suppose I could have been a carnation in 1959, and 5 years passed before the inspiration came to fruition in the form of the drink mix. But I rather doubt it. All right, that's it. Thank you. Tomorrow I'll be back home, although I'll only be at that home for another week and a half or so. Regardless, I appreciate you.